BMW just dropped a car that doesn't even feel like it belongs in 2026. It feels like it teleported here from 2040. And here's the crazy part. They're calling it the i3. Yeah, same name as that little quirky hatchback from back in the day. But this is a whole different beast. We're talking nearly 400 miles of range, charging so fast you could grab a coffee and add 200 miles while you're sipping it, and a windshield that literally turns into a giant display screen. And before you ask, yes, it's still got that signature BMW driving punch. So in this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this all-new electric 3 Series. And trust me, by the end, you'll see why Tesla, Mercedes, and Audi might actually be sweating right now. Model overview and context. All right, before we dive into design details, let's clear up the background, because the name can get a little confusing. BMW is calling this car the i3 sedan. But no, it's not the funky little i3 hatchback from 10 years ago that looked like a city pod. This is actually the new all-electric 3 Series, built from the ground up on BMW's futuristic Neue Klasse EV platform. Now, technically, BMW did launch a 3 Series electric sedan in China back in 2022, but that was more of a limited market experiment. What we're looking at here is the first global model, designed from day one to take on cars like the Tesla Model 3, the Mercedes EQC/EQE sedan, and the upcoming Audi A4 e-tron. Why is it such a big deal? Well, the 3 Series has always been BMW's bread and butter. It's their best-selling model worldwide and kind of the definition of a sporty luxury sedan. So turning it into a full EV is like BMW saying, this is the future of our brand. Timeline-wise, the Neue Klasse i3 sedan is expected to officially launch around 2026, with customer deliveries probably starting late 2026 into 2027. Price-wise, early estimates suggest it'll start at about $55,000 in the US, which positions it right in the middle of the luxury EV market. So, in simple terms, this car is BMW's big answer to Tesla, and it's their chance to prove that they can deliver electric performance without losing that classic, ultimate driving machine feel. Exterior design. Now, let's talk about what you see first, the exterior design. And honestly, BMW has gone all out to make this i3 sedan look futuristic, while still keeping that recognizable 3 Series DNA. Starting at the front, the classic kidney grille is basically gone as we know it. Instead, you get this sleek, glossy panel that's more of a design statement than an air intake, since an EV doesn't need all that airflow. In some trims, it'll even be illuminated, almost like a light signature that glows at night, giving it that high-tech concept car vibe. The headlights are slimmer and sharper than anything we've seen on a 3 Series before. They stretch outward in a really aggressive way, making the car look wider and sportier. Below that, the front bumper is clean and minimal, without all the vents and intakes you'd usually expect. Move to the side, and you'll notice the longer wheelbase compared to the current 3 Series. That stretch not only makes it look more elegant, but also means extra room inside. We'll get to that later. The roofline is flatter and more coupe-like, giving it a smooth, flowing silhouette. The sharp character lines running down the doors, combined with muscular wheel arches, give it a really athletic stance, like it's ready to pounce forward. One really cool detail, BMW has stripped away a lot of unnecessary trim. Instead of raised logos or plastic accents, some badges are laser-etched directly into the body panels. That makes the design look super clean, almost like a piece of modern architecture. From the back, the taillights are just as futuristic. Thin light bars that wrap around, giving it a sleek, connected look. And unlike the gas-powered 3 Series, you won't see exhaust pipes, of course. Instead, it's a very smooth, aerodynamic rear end, designed to reduce drag and maximize range. Overall, the whole exterior gives you the feeling that this is not just another 3 Series with an EV badge slapped on. It's fresh, futuristic, and minimalist, but still unmistakably BMW interior and cabin technology. Stepping inside the Neue Klasse i3 sedan, the first thing you notice is that BMW has completely reimagined the cabin. It doesn't feel like a traditional 3 Series anymore. It feels like you've stepped into a tech lounge from the future. Right in front of you, instead of the usual cluster of gauges, there's BMW's brand new panoramic vision display. This is a super thin strip that runs almost wall to wall across the bottom of the windshield, projecting key info like speed, navigation, and battery charge directly onto the glass. It's wide, futuristic, and it makes the old-school instrument cluster feel ancient. Then, at the center, you get a huge tablet-style touchscreen, bright, crisp, and packed with BMW's latest iDrive system. It feels more like a smart device than a car screen, with swipe gestures, customizable widgets, and even the ability to drag content from the touchscreen up onto the windshield display. Imagine swiping your Spotify playlist up into your line of sight while driving. It's that kind of futuristic interaction. The steering wheel is also completely new. It's a squircle shape, somewhere between a square and a circle. And the spokes have haptic touch buttons that light up when active. They give a little click when pressed, so you always know what you're touching without looking down. As for the materials, BMW says they've gone for eco-friendly luxury. Expect recycled textiles, vegan leather, and sustainably sourced trims. It's not just greenwashing either. The textures actually feel upscale, modern, and very premium. Space is another big win here. Thanks to the flat EV floor, rear passengers don't have to deal with a transmission tunnel, which means the person sitting in the middle finally gets real footroom. The stretched wheelbase also means more legroom in the back compared to today's 3 Series. And since there's no engine up front, BMW has added a frunk, a small but handy storage space under the hood, perfect for charging cables, backpacks, or a couple of grocery bags. One more fun feature BMW is teasing: the Hyperson X sound system, which includes not just speakers, but even sound elements in the steering wheel. It's designed to give immersive audio, whether it's music or even synthetic driving sounds. So yeah, inside the i3 sedan, it's a mix of cutting-edge tech, sustainable materials, and smart use of space. Basically, a showcase of where BMW thinks the future of car interiors is headed. Powertrain and performance specs. All right, let's talk numbers, because this is where BMW really wants to prove it hasn't lost its identity as the ultimate driving machine. The Neue Klasse i3 sedan will be built on BMW's brand new 6th generation eDrive platform, which means all new motors, batteries, and electronics. Expect at least 2 versions at launch: a single-motor, rear-wheel drive model, staying true to BMW's classic sporty setup, and a dual-motor, all-wheel drive version for those who want max performance and grip. In terms of power, BMW hasn't locked down the exact figures yet, but insiders suggest anywhere between 280 to 350 horsepower for the base model, and up to 500-plus horsepower for the high-performance M variant that will come later. That should translate to 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds for the standard car, and closer to 5 to 4 seconds for the M version, putting it right against the Tesla Model 3 performance. Now let's talk range. Thanks to BMW's new cylindrical battery cells, which are 20% more energy dense than before, the i3 sedan should deliver around 300 to 370 miles, 480 to 600 kilometers, on a single charge, depending on the trim. That's a big step up from BMW's older EVs like the i4. Charging is another highlight. The system supports ultra-fast 800-volt charging, meaning you can add about 200 miles of range in just 10 minutes at a high-speed DC charger. That's faster than most current EVs, including some Teslas. BMW is also focusing on efficiency and handling. With a lower center of gravity, near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution, and adaptive suspension, the i3 sedan isn't just about going fast in a straight line. It's designed to corner like a true BMW. And here's the fun part. BMW is working on custom driving sounds developed in partnership with composer Hans Zimmer. So, instead of silence, you'll get futuristic tones that rise and fall with your acceleration, giving the car some emotional drama, even without an engine roar. So in short, the Neue Klasse i3 sedan promises to blend long-range, blazing fast charging, and classic BMW driving dynamics, all while giving Tesla and Mercedes some serious competition. Battery and charging tech. Now let's dig a little deeper into the battery and charging technology, because this is one of the biggest upgrades BMW is bringing with the Neue Klasse i3 sedan. The heart of the system is BMW's brand new 6th generation battery cells. Instead of the flat pouch-style cells used in current EVs, BMW is moving to cylindrical cells, very similar to what Tesla uses in its latest models. These new cells are about 20% more energy dense, which means you get more range without needing a bigger or heavier battery pack. The total pack size is expected to be around 75 to 100 kilowatt hours, depending on the trim, which is how BMW is able to target that impressive 300 to 370 miles of range. Another big change is the 800-volt architecture. This allows the car to handle ultra-fast DC charging, so you can go from 10% to 80% in just about 20 minutes under ideal conditions. For quick top-ups, you're looking at 200 miles of range in roughly 10 minutes at a high-speed charger. That's basically a coffee break instead of a long wait. BMW is also working on bidirectional charging, which means the car won't just take power, it can also give it back. Imagine using your i3 sedan as a backup power source for your home during an outage, or even sending energy back to the grid when it's in high demand. That's the kind of future-proofing BMW is aiming for. On the durability side, BMW claims these new batteries will have longer lifespans and will be made with more sustainable materials, cutting production emissions by up to 60%. So it's not just about performance, it's about being cleaner and greener in the entire supply chain. And of course, BMW hasn't forgotten convenience. The car will come with intelligent charging software that finds the best time to charge based on electricity rates, renewable energy availability, and even your driving schedule. Basically, it tries to save you money while also being eco-friendly. So the takeaway here is, BMW isn't just putting a battery into a 3 Series body. They're building a next-generation EV system that's faster, smarter, greener, and ready for the future of electric mobility. Autonomous driving and AI features. Now here's where things get really futuristic. The autonomous driving and AI tech packed into the Neue Klasse i3 sedan. BMW is rolling out its latest Level 2 Plus semi-autonomous system right out of the box. That means on highways, the car can handle steering, acceleration, and braking by itself, while you keep your hands lightly on the wheel. Think of it like Tesla Autopilot or Mercedes Drive Pilot, but with BMW's own twist. In fact, BMW has announced that the Neue Klasse platform is hardware-ready for Level 3 autonomy, which means in the near future, with a software update and regulatory approval, the i3 sedan could let you take your hands off completely in certain conditions, like traffic jams or long highway cruises. The system uses a mix of cameras, radar, ultrasonic sensors, and a forward-facing LiDAR unit to create a full 360-degree view around the car. This helps with lane changes, automatic overtaking, and even navigating complex junctions. On the AI side, BMW is putting a lot of effort into the digital assistant. Instead of just voice commands like, set temperature to 22 degrees, the new BMW AI can understand natural conversation. You could say, I'm feeling cold, and it'll automatically adjust the climate settings without you giving exact numbers. It's also learning-based. Over time, it remembers your habits, like what routes you usually take to work, your preferred seat position, or even the kind of music you like in the morning versus late at night. Parking tech is also a highlight. The i3 sedan will come with automated valet parking, meaning the car can drop you off at a location, then drive itself to find a parking spot. Later, you can call it back to you with just your phone. That's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But BMW says it's coming with the Neue Klasse. And finally, BMW is promising over-the-air software updates for everything from navigation maps to driving assistance features. So the car should keep getting smarter the longer you own it. Bottom line, the Neue Klasse i3 sedan isn't just about being electric. It's about being a smart, AI-powered, semi-autonomous driving machine that keeps improving with time, sustainability, and eco-friendly design. One of the biggest themes with the Neue Klasse 1.3 sedan is sustainability. BMW knows that when people buy an EV, they don't just care about range and speed. They also want to know the car is actually better for the planet. First up, the materials. Inside the cabin, BMW is moving away from traditional leather and plastics. Instead, they're using vegan leather alternatives, recycled textiles, and plant-based materials. Even the trim pieces, things like wood or aluminum, are sourced responsibly or made from recycled content. It still feels premium, but without the heavy environmental footprint. The battery production process is also getting a massive overhaul. BMW says the new cylindrical cells are not only more efficient, but they also cut production-related CO2 emissions by up to 60% compared to their current EV batteries. They're doing this by using renewable energy in their gigafactories and by sourcing raw materials like cobalt and lithium more responsibly. Then there's circularity. Basically, BMW wants these cars to be recyclable at the end of their life. The Neue Klasse platform has been designed so that steel, aluminum, and even battery materials can be recovered and reused for future vehicles. It's part of BMW's long-term goal to become a fully circular company, where nothing goes to waste. On top of that, the i3 sedan will use aerodynamics and efficiency tricks to cut down energy usage while driving. Things like hidden door handles, smooth underbody panels, and even special low-resistance tires all help squeeze out extra miles per charge. BMW is also working on a green supply chain. From transportation to factory logistics, they're pushing for lower emissions in every stage of the car's journey, not just when it's on the road. So, while the i3 sedan is a luxury car with futuristic tech, it's also a symbol of how BMW wants to balance performance with responsibility. It's not just about driving pleasure anymore. It's about driving with a cleaner conscience. Pricing, competition, and market position. Now, let's talk about where the Neue Klasse i3 sedan fits in the market, because pricing and competition will make or break this car. BMW hasn't announced official numbers yet, but industry insiders expect the starting price to land around $55,000 to $60,000 in the US. Higher trims with dual motors, bigger batteries, and luxury packages could easily push it closer to $70,000 or even $75,000. The performance-oriented M version that's expected later, that could break into the $80,000 plus range. So who's BMW really going after here? The Tesla Model 3 is the obvious rival. Tesla still dominates the premium EV sedan market, and the Model 3 performance is a direct benchmark for BMW. But BMW has a key advantage: luxury fit and finish, something Tesla often gets criticized for. Next up, there's Mercedes with its EQ lineup, especially the upcoming EQC sedan and the already established EQE sedan. Mercedes is all about comfort and luxury, so BMW will be playing the sportier, driver-focused card. Then you've got Audi. The A4 e-tron is on the horizon, and it's going to be in the same size and price bracket. Audi usually wins on design and tech integration, so BMW will have to prove it can match or beat that. And let's not forget the Polestar 2, which is a bit cheaper but very popular among design-conscious buyers. There's also Lucid, pushing luxury EV sedans into higher price ranges, which makes BMW's i3 sedan look like a more accessible option. The real challenge? Brand loyalty and timing. Tesla owners are deeply loyal to their ecosystem, with supercharger access as a big selling point. BMW needs to convince buyers that its new charging partnerships and tech can match that convenience. Position-wise, the i3 sedan is basically BMW's statement. This is the electric 3 Series, the car that defines our brand. It's aimed at buyers who want Tesla-level tech, but also crave German engineering, premium interiors, and that signature BMW driving feel. So, in short, BMW is placing the Neue Klasse i3 sedan right in the middle of the most competitive EV battleground and betting that its mix of performance, luxury, and sustainability will win over buyers. Conclusion and final thoughts. So, what do we make of the BMW Neue Klasse i3 sedan? In many ways, this isn't just another electric car. It's BMW's future flagship. The 3 Series has always been the car that defines BMW, and by making it fully electric on the Neue Klasse platform, BMW is basically saying, this is the next era of the ultimate driving machine. We're talking about a sedan that combines sleek, futuristic design that still feels like a BMW, a tech-packed interior with panoramic displays and AI assistance, serious performance, from long range to blistering acceleration, fast charging and smart battery tech that compete with Tesla head-on, and a real focus on sustainability and eco-friendly design, which is becoming just as important as horsepower these days. Will it be enough to pull buyers away from Tesla, Mercedes, or Audi? That's the big question. But one thing is clear. This is the most exciting BMW sedan we've seen in years. And if they nail the execution, it could easily become the benchmark luxury EV sedan of the late 2020s. So whether you're a BMW fan, an EV enthusiast, or just someone curious about the future of driving, the Neue Klasse i3 sedan is definitely a car to keep on your radar.